In today's video, we will be looking at a viewer-suggested product, which is this here Icon little mini LED battery-operated work light. This particular one's, a few of you have asked me to take a look at this, so I was in the old Harbor Freight, and I figured I'd pick it up. On Harbor Freight's website, they compare this to the, I think it's a Streamlined Switchblade. That's an $80 light. I think a better comparison would be this here Craftsman that I bought. Again, $40. Same basic concept, and yeah, we can take a look at them. I mean, the specs are basically the same on both of these. So yeah, we'll take a look at each side by each and see which one you should buy. Speaking of the specs, this particular light is the Icon 71068. The Craftsman is the CMMT 25165. The Craftsman does not advertise what their lumens are for their light. The people over there at Craftsman and Lowe's, they need to up their game on their product descriptions because it's very bare as far as what the specs are on this particular light. This Icon light, they're claiming 800 lumens. I have no way of testing that. We'll compare these side by each and see which one seems like it's brighter. They both have a 3-hour runtime on their highest setting. I believe they're calling the Icon's claiming like something like 8-something hours on the little teeny tiny light we'll look at. Okay, no one will ever use that, and I think that's pretty much the same for the Craftsman light. The Icon light is IPX4, which is ingress protection. X doesn't mean it's not rated for dust, which probably means they just didn't test it for dust. Excuse me, because it's a mechanics light. And the 4 is basically rain, light rain. I mean, you can't dunk it, you can't hit it with a lot of pressure, but in light rain, it's not going to do anything. Craftsman is not rated for any IPX rating. Now, getting into the batteries, we are charging at 0.85 amps on the Icon. They're claiming 1 amp. Close enough, I guess. For the batteries on the Craftsman, they're claiming 1 amp again, and we're looking at 0.89 amps. But batteries, general rule of thumb, don't freaking get on me with it, but your discharge rate on a battery, on a lithium battery, I should say, like this is 2.5 amps is what 2.5 amp hours is what this is rated for. Generally, what your discharge rate is, you can charge safely. Now, I understand that you kind of want to bring that down. It's better to charge these as slow as possible because the heat messes them up. But like I said, 1.5 amps on any light like this would be just fine as far as getting it. Then it would, 2 hours instead of 3 hours and 45 minutes it takes to charge that, and 3 hours and 30 minutes it's taken to charge that. Speaking of the actual battery capacity, both are claiming 2,500 milliamp hours. The Icon light is getting 2660 milliamp hours. Thing was in the way, and the Craftsman's getting 2574 milliamp hours. So yeah, I mean, they're both kind of overachieving a little bit as far as what their battery rating goes, but yeah. So what do you say we flip the camera down, kind of look at these side by side, and see what we think about them. So this is them lined up side by side. I mean, you can see why I'm making this comparison as compared to what Icon's comparison wants you to make. And again, same price, so I mean, apples to apples as far as I'm concerned. The Craftsman light, you have one little cob down here. You have a little cob right here for kind of doing spotlighty type stuff, and then you actually have a flashlight on the end here. The Icon light has a smaller cob down here on the inside, has a larger cob on the outside, and then it has a little flashlighty LED sitting in there. As far as the size of the two cobs, the Icon one is a little bit bigger. Yeah, the Icon one is a little bit bigger. Now, as far as the way the light would mount to whatever surface you're trying to work on, the Craftsman has a magnet down here on the bottom. A little magnet film shows you that. It's got a little hook, which kind of flips up like that, so you can just kind of dangle it there, and actually has this here little clamping action here, which I've been using this for months. I would say at least 6 months, maybe longer. And yeah, that actually comes in handy if you're working on something aluminum or plastic that you need something to attach a light to. I actually really like that little feature for that. As far as the icon light goes, best I could see is that you just got a little magnet on the back here. People always ask me, this is called magnetic film. It just kind of lets you see where the magnets are and things, and it's like $3 on Amazon. You could pick it up, or eBay, or any place like that. But let's kind of look around and see if we're missing any magnets that I'm not seeing. No. What's that? Oh, there's a magnet right there. Right down there in the end here. And I'm not sure what that's for, because that's not big enough to hold anything, right? No. Is it to hold that little screw to hold it closed? If it is, it ain't doing it. I don't even feel it. The friction in the hinge is greater than the magnet, but yeah. All right, well, we have a little chunk of steel here. Let's kind of put them next to each other. About similar as far as magnetism goes. The icon has a little rubber pad on the bottom of it to give it a little bit of friction, so it doesn't want to slide down, which it doesn't want to do at all. As far as, oh, you know what I forgot to? I mentioned this in the original video with the little end piece here. The Craftsman put magnets in the end, so you can kind of light that up and poke around and pick little nuts and bolts up on the in deep dark holes. But yeah, as far as fixing itself to a project or something you're working on, I definitely would say the Craftsman has the edge over that. Now, the articulation of the actual light arm, the Craftsman kind of has this like shielded thing where it goes in and it closes on itself. It also has this head will spin 180 degrees around, so you can face it in either direction. The icon, it's just open and closed. One thing, when I was looking at this thing, a lot of the times, okay, so imagine you're standing up and this is what you're looking at, you want to work on. Now, with this light right here, I can stick this and then the light's shining down on it. With this one, if I want to use the big light, the light's shining in my face. So the only way we could get that is if you have something like this to connect it to, up like this, and then you have the light on what you're working on, which I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, it does have the intercob in here, which is probably enough to do what you got to do if you're in a tight spot. But I said that little bit of articulation, I kind of like that better with the old Craftsman there. Now, as far as actual controls on the thing, I will say the Craftsman has a little battery gauge down there, lets you know what the state of your battery is. A little boot to cover up the USB-C charging, and then you got the power button. Power button turns on the large cob down there. I'm trying not to blow the camera out, and press and hold it. Doesn't change it. It's just got one speed, which is high. Another click will take you over to the little pointy bit if you're digging in something and you need a slim light. And then I believe press and hold, if I remember correctly, turns on the flashlight in the end, which it's a functional flashlight. It's not great, but it does all right. Now, as far as the functionality for the icon light, we got, again, little three LEDs over here. Let you know the charge state. USB-C charge over there. To activate the lights, one click turns it on the big boy on the back here. Another click puts it on the smaller boy on the bottom here, and then third click gives you a spotlight, and that's actually pretty good as far as spotlights go. Let's check the two together. Yeah, I mean, you can't even see the Craftsman one. It's kind of, there's the Craftsman one, and there's the Icon one. So yeah, that's definitely a better light on that guy. And as far as controls go, I'm not sure if this one actually has high-low on it, but you push and hold. No, that one doesn't have high-low on it. The bigger ones, push and hold. Come on. Push and hold. There we go. Yeah, it's not a push and hold. It's just a high, low, high, and then tip, low, and then high. That's not too bad. Now, if you sit here and you let it sit for a second, like 10 seconds, I believe it is, and then you push it again, it just shuts off. And the thing that is making me really like this light is that it turns on to what you last left it on. Now, for this light, it's not that big of a deal because it's, you know, there's only 2 lights that you can cycle through, and you don't have to go high and low. But with the bigger icon light that I did a video on, I'll link that one at the end of the video. That one, you got to cycle through all the different lights, the purple light, the front light, the back light, all the different lights, and it makes you not want to turn it off because then you don't want to have to come back and go through all those lights again, and then the battery wears down. But yeah, the fact that this remembers the last setting it was on is awesome, and I really do like that. That is definitely worth its weight in gold, like I said, because you know how it is. You don't want to, you got the thing set up right and you got to walk away for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to go to the bathroom, and then you turn it off, and then you got to come back and you're like, okay, I got to go through all the different lights and then get to the one that you want. I like that it's got that memory on it, and I think every light like this should have that on it. And you know what? I almost forgot. Let's kind of compare the lights, the actual brightness of the lights, as far as the camera will let us see, to each other. Again, the Icon is claiming 800 lumens, and the Craftsman isn't claiming anything as far as that goes. I'm going to turn the lights off just so we kind of get a better idea. We're going to compare the big beam of the Craftsman to the big beam of the Icon, both on high. All right, that is the Icon on high. Let's take that away, and that is the Craftsman. Let everything adjust. Icon. As far as the temperature goes, I got to say that the temperature is about the same on both of the lights, and I'm not really seeing, as far as my eyes go, much of a difference as far as brightness. Yeah, I'd say they're about the same brightness as far as lumens go. How about the rear one? Yeah, the smaller one in the back is definitely a lot dimmer. I mean, there's less LEDs there, but yeah, not too bad at all. Yeah, like I said, I think the Craftsman's 800 lumens. If this is actually 800, if the Icon's actually 800 lumens, I can't see much of a difference. Yeah. So there we go. That's those two side by side. I think I've made my decision on which one I would buy if I had already bought both of them. I will say that the Icon light, I mean, we're probably looking at an 18650 sitting inside that handle there. Would be kind of nice if you could unscrew this and hot swap batteries. Excuse me again. Yeah, I mean, I understand why they don't want to do that, because they don't want people just like going on Fleabag or eBay and just buying some cheapo batteries, sticking it in there, and the thing friggin' nukes itself, and then everyone's saying that the Icon batteries the Icon flashlights catch themselves on fire. But I mean, like I said, it would be nice. I'm pretty sure the Streamlight you could actually replace the batteries on. Like I said, I've never owned one, but I'm pretty sure that's the case, and you could just take, battery dies, take it, put it in. I mean, you could even do the dirtbag thing like Milwaukee does, and make them proprietary. I would buy this plus an extra battery just to keep it handy. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. Let's close it out and give you my final thoughts. So I guess what the question is now, which one would I buy for my $40? And I gotta say the Icon light is the one that I would pick for the $40. I like the more options of the lights. The articulating feature of the Craftsman is nicer, and it gives you more options as far as mounting goes, but I gotta say it's not enough to make me buy this one over this one. And this one just kind of has a more sturdy feel to it, where this one's kind of aluminum-y, if that's a word, and plasticky. Again, I've been using this for 6 months. I haven't had a problem with it since, but it's still a nice light. So, but yeah, the Icon one. And like I said, with the articulating end of it, not being able to shine it where you want it, this little cob on the bottom, I think, will be plenty for me for what I do as far as lighting things. But yeah, that's about it. And for those of you who make your comments and suggestions in the old comments section, saying, hey, take a look at this thing, I appreciate that. That's kind of where I get a lot of my ideas for videos. And yeah, so I ain't gonna link them because I don't have links for these. I'll put the item numbers down in the description. If you want to buy either one of them, you can check them out for yourself. And yeah, that's about it. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comments section. I will do my best to get back to you. And yeah, I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.